Why? Well, this is a bit of a mess. Yeah, this is sorted by name. I don't think so. Oh, I was looking at this all wrong. Okay. It makes sense to me now. Easy. Yeah, I figured it out. I just somehow thought the second number would be sequential, and no, obviously that's not the case. Right, per matchup. I follow. Thank you, Starry. I can fix that. That should be fixed now. So if Mr. Zach would do a 5-second,
words.
or Starry can do
We'll
his
talk somewhat.
Yeah, it's fixed. I'm back onto where else I'll be. You have about a third of my full attention for this.
I'm honored to have that much of you. Mr. Zach, you appear
I'll tell
to
you what.
have the crown.
Oh, you accepted my invite. Oh, set yet? Combination of buttons to press at the start of each game to show what the score is and everything.
Right, you said that was some set of modifiers in 3.
We're going to do Control-Shift-3 at the start of every one to demonstrate that it's a best of 3. Like shift number or control number to set the score. Each player.
I think you're trying to make this a little fancier than I'm trying to make it.
This is what I'm going to just tell you what to do, and you're going to do it.
Alright, fair enough. So first up here we have the matchup of Mr. Zach versus Starry in the Are You Gaming Torment series 2018.
Wow, this is the very first game. And Control-Shift-3. And Zulu.
Control Shift 3. Okay, indicates the best of 3.
And Zulu to zoom out.
To paraphrase Starry, we have Zergs, Zergs, Zergs. And toss, toss, toss. Standard, standard. Got Oscar moving across the map to Starry's natural. Here comes the Zerg natural. Standard. No wall
I'm proud
at
of
the
the
front.
fact that I did my Overlord.
Aha! A fast Protoss expansion.
I think normally Protoss expands at 20.
I'm gonna do a thing here. So now the little icons will show up in all the buildings that are producing things. All the life bars are very distracting to me in-game, so I don't usually watch them, but it's very nice in the replay to have them on all the time.
I think if you just set it to damaged, it will. But
Now,
I'm seeing the
this-
icons without having to have the life bars.
This is a rather strange opening from my perspective. A one gate, one forge expansion. It's like a Forge Fast Expand from Wings of Liberty without the buildings being in a position to wall off the natural expansion. Oh, hello. A Baneling nest. This should prove fun. Banelings are always fun.
I try to get that against Protoss. Try to get it all the time now, really.
Alright, coming out with a fourth zealot before too long here. Not sure where he's going to be spending his gas. I assume the forge, but it seems a suboptimal place to spend your first gas. Here's the worker transfer. Not a wrong decision. Trying to keep your worker amounts balanced means you mine more from your forward expansions, so you kind of save some for a longer period of time in your main and natural. Yeah, Starry commenting about how I seem to know what he's doing. I agree, Noda. This is oddly gaslight for a Protoss build. I mean, we can't expect Starry to be deploying any kind of refined build orders. He only just picked up the game.
There you go.
Pretty standard stuff. Hydra's starting to mount for the Zerg. Protoss still not teching up, relying entirely on simply zealots. Not even charge lots, but regular run-of-the-mill slow lots. Not even a warp gate.
Yes. Sorry, he doesn't believe in Warp Gate.
Neither did Dash. Dash got converted at one point. It'll happen. The alternative
I
is
keep
Starry
betting him
can
to make
forego
Warp Gate.
Protoss and switch to Terran. And he never has to worry about Warp Gate.
They picks off this hatchery, that's good.
Ooh, I totally missed those zealots moving around. There's quite a lot of lots there, but Not a lot to be done when you're fully surrounded by Lings.
Hit Shift L to bring up the units lost panel.
Yeah, pretty even exchange. But the even exchange has come to an end, and this Ling aggression should pretty much end the game right here, because there simply aren't enough Zealots to turn it back.
They're slow lots, so Zerg's kind of out running around.
Yep. The extra mobility will be the Zerg's advantage here, but shockingly, this does not end the game. Still losing workers in the main. So it looks like 19 workers lost in that. And more Lings continue to stream in. Hydra's now at the front. This is definitely going to end. No question. What are these Zealots getting caught up on? That was kind of weird to see.
Not sure what you're talking about.
I'll step back a little bit. There were a couple of Zealots that kind of stalled on a couple of buildings while they were trying to attack a Zergling on the other side. They were trying to attack a Zergling on the other side of the gateway and Nexus.
Maybe it was like a situation where the two were trying to get through at once.
Yeah, it's right here. End the Zulu and try to zoom in. So you've got this one Ling here between the two buildings. And both of the Zealots are trying to move to attack that Ling, but they're not doing anything.
Interesting.
Starry now deciding to spend on a bunch of cannons on the high ground, which will unfortunately be too little too late. It might have stalled mrxak's attack if they had come out sooner and been allowed to finish. Warp gate halfway done, 8-minute mark. Warp gate denied, it says. Oh my.
I do love you pretending that you think I know what I'm doing.
And the few Lings will clean up the last of the probes.
As I put in chat, this was, I think, the first game in like 3 months. As well.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how you can look at your history to see when the last one was. The last one would be whatever one I played with Yui. Stunned silence to that comment.
There's no stunned. There's just... Starry is so new to the game, he doesn't know when to surrender.
It's better than that. I know where the surrender button was at this point.
So Yui, if you set your to damaged, I think that should time. Oops, sorry.
After this one, I'll jump over back to World of Warships, but I was curious at seeing your comments pretending that I knew what I was doing.
Whether you know what you're doing or not, that doesn't necessarily mean that what you're doing isn't valid in some way.
No, but it's your description of, this is an atypical build, this, that, and the other. It sounds like there was any intentional design in there.
I mean, it was close. Like I mentioned during the cast, it was close to a build that was done in Wings of Liberty, the first StarCraft 2 expansion, known as the Forge Fast Expand, wherein the Protoss would wall up the Natural's entryway and expand behind that, using a forge to build cannons to cover the expansion.
Lad, I totally invented that on the fly.
You may have totally invented that on the fly, at least in concept. You didn't refine it. You didn't position the Forge Fast Expand in the right place, but you had the buildings.
That's what matters, isn't it?
Sure.
I can...
So we open our next game with an aggressive probe crossing the map. What will come here?
What's going through my head, if you're curious.
By all means.
My thought was
Here's the forge. You're just going to have to
in
talk
essence
over
lost. Me. I was working on the basis it's lost. Why not try something that has the slimmest of slim chance of being unexpected? Or not necessarily even unexpected, but going differently.
What are you going to do? Cannon rush his fourth base that he doesn't have?
I paused because I figured there might be an observer floating around, and I was hoping not to have it spotted. And I misjudged the position of the pylon.
What you may not know... well, I suppose it wouldn't have helped you, but a hatchery under construction has next to no vision radius. The only reason Mr. Zach can see it all is because of that overlord there.
I don't think he spotted my thing at this time.
He has not spotted it at this time.
So far away, I could not have conceived of a cannon rush that far away.
Realistically, this, if anything, is going to turn into a cannon contain.
That's actually... after I realised it was too far off, I figured it would keep it to 2 bases, hopefully. This is the one where Zach came with units that I don't think I've ever seen in the games that I've played.
Hey.
Which says something, because Notra also appeared with a unit I hadn't seen. You have managed to defy the convention and didn't appear with a Terran unit I haven't seen.
So Oscar has arrived at the Protoss Natural and has decided, yup, he expanded. Quickly, retreat to the fan. The cannon shove continues. But not a whole lot will come of this, simply because the creep radius of the hatchery will prevent any cannons from getting close enough to actually attack the hatchery.
Do you want to guess what I'd also forgotten?
Also forgotten.
I'd forgotten exactly what you just said.
Oh,
about
the
creep
whole...
radius.
Yeah.
I did remember that Terran gets siege tanks, and that's an intentional reason that I didn't try any sort of cannon stuff with you. Because I know you'd just build a siege tank and it will go bang very quickly.
You hit a Terran early enough, he's quite a ways away from having a tank.
You're assuming that I can do that.
You've already done it here. This is the 3-minute 30-second mark. I don't have a tank yet.
If you say so, I'm not aware of that.
So the cannons will continue to poke in, and the contain will successfully keep Mr. Zach on 2 bases for the time being. Starry's advancement out of this is to tech up to a cybernetics core at the 4-minute mark.
Will he get warp gate? Spoiler alert, no.
So Mr. Zach appears to be moving in a Ravager direction to break the cannon contain.
I think Ravagers are the units that I didn't know existed.
They morph from roaches. As roaches, you can get Ravagers.
So with the advent of the cybernetics core, Starry is adding shield batteries to the cannon contain.